right, let's do this. Get some words in today. I want to remind everybody who is watching this to subscribe or resubscribe on Twitch, and also to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. I'm getting closer and closer to my 1,000 subscribers. Very excited about that. My bit rate is very low so far, so that's not a good sign. Ooh, burping a lot too. Also not a good sign. Okay. My goal is to hit a page on this. This is the book I'm co-writing with Tom Duffy. I just want to get a page of this in at least. I got another story I'm writing with another co-author. Let's get a page in on that. I'd like to go through and do an edit on chapter 1 of my Southern Gothic noir thriller. Tighten up that first chapter on that, and I think that'll be a good day for Black Friday. Those are the minimums. Hopefully, I can do more on each and get ahead. Not sure if anybody will even be on today, which is fine. You got your things to do. It's Black Friday. Hopefully you don't have shopping. Hopefully you just sit home and do your shopping. Don't go out there. It's ridiculous. As someone who did retail for 20 years, retail management for 20-something years, this is the worst day of the year. We'll get more into that later. What's up, Peter Marsh? Peter Marsh from the Marsh Pit, everyone. How's it going? I guess you're off today. Hope everything is going well in your life. Enjoy your videos you've been posting. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Apparently, it is my 23-month sub anniversary. Nice. 23 months. That's crazy. I think last week was like my 3-year anniversary, 4-year anniversary on here, something like that. Yeah, I had for lunch today. I had some turkey. Reheated some of the leftover turkey and on those little Hawaiian rolls. 4 Hawaiian roll sandwiches, and my wife made me a box of stovetop stuffing, which is delicious. We had no stuffing yesterday for Thanksgiving. And so, but I was like, you know what? I don't care because I got stovetop tomorrow. Stovetop on Black Friday is better than any stuffing anybody can make. So that's what I had. Everything's going. It is cold here. It is 59 degrees right now in Florida. Yesterday was like 60s, I think. So it was really nice. We had people inside. We had people outside. We had put the awning down, and we had a couple of tables out there. We had about, I don't know, like 35 people here. So my wife always goes crazy with it. She made 70 pounds of meat. Martin's Hawaiian rolls. No, the King's Hawaiian rolls. In the orange wrappers. Yeah, 70 pounds. She did 5 turkeys. So she deep fried a couple. She smoked a couple. Then she had like 2 big hams. So yeah, so we had a lot of people took food with them, sides and everything. We had like 22 different sides and tons of desserts. Yeah, we go crazy all out. Actually, she goes crazy all out. And then everybody brings various dishes with them. But she was up from like 5 o'clock yesterday morning doing the turkeys and stuff. And now for the next several days, we'll be eating some leftovers. A lot of people took a lot of food with them too. So it was a good day. You have a really awesome wife. Don't let her hear that. She'll get a bloated head. Basically, she is very supportive of everything I do, even the dumb things. She's the voice of reason. And she is an excellent cook, which is why I am 360 pounds. So, yeah. But it will be good. Hopefully, Peter Marsh, next August, you will meet her in person when you come for MondoCon. That would be good. Yeah, that is one of the things I learned from watching your feed and talking to you. Yeah. You got to have somebody supportive in your life. For the longest time, I had nobody that was... like my parents were supportive. My dad didn't understand the running thing. My mom did, but she was also like, you should really work a normal job. But she supported me, living my dream kind of thing. And then when I got to that place, she was very supportive. But women in my life were not ever supportive. And that was always soul crushing. And so when I met Shelly, that it changed. It was like, oh, wait, I'm dating somebody who actually maybe doesn't understand what I'm doing 100%. She's not a creative person. She's more of a numbers person. But she understands that this makes me happy. And that's what it is. It's you know what? I want somebody who knows that this makes me happy and this is living the dream for me. How old were you when you met Shelly? We met in 2012. So that's 13 years ago. So I was 43. I think I had just turned 43 a month before we met. Yeah. No fun. I'm not lying. That is how old you are. You better hurry up and find your real wife then. You had your starter wife. You went through it. It lets you know what you don't want in another person. And there you go. And then at some point, your kids are like, you know what? Dad just seems happier now. That's what happened with my kids. I think you were right about that. Yeah. I had two starter wives. It took me an extra starter wife to realize the things that I did not want in another person. You find somebody that doesn't want to change you and like, you're a writer. Well, you'll just get a real job. Speaking of a real job, there's Mr. Frank. My relationship with my kids has gotten better. Yeah, because you're able to focus on your kids. I realized once I got divorced, I was like, you know what? I can spend time with my kids without her being around, without the two of us arguing or giving each other dirty looks or whatever. And it's just a better situation to spend, especially when your kids are back and forth and you only have a certain amount of time. Because now you can be the cool dad. And if their kids are living with her, then she's got to be the disciplinarian and do all of that crap. That also helps. My relationship with Mr. Frank also got better once I got divorced. Welcome to Serious Chat, Mr. Frank. We are talking about life changes and divorce. Someday Frank's wife will come to a conclusion of why do I have this guy in my life, and then they'll be divorced, so then Frank can jump in. By the way, Armand, that is exactly what is happening. Yeah, right. So you know what? You spend quality time with your kids now. You enjoy the time you have with them without her around, and it's just better. And it's better. And they know it. Kids are dumb. They're not dumb. They understand. It might have been awful that mom and daddy got divorced, but long term, they're going to be like, great. Because I know a lot of kids that the parents were awful to each other, never got divorced, and growing up, they were like, this is awful. I wish my parents. The stay together for your kids is BS. That's almost as worse as we see a lot on, especially on investigation discovery shows. We watched one last night, and it's like, oh, they're fighting and he's mean to her and stuff. So let's hurry up and have a kid together because that'll make things better. It's like, no, that makes things worse. We play Rock Band on my Xbox from like 2008. I take them on little event. Very cool. Nice, Mr. Frank says. Frank, I hope your Thanksgiving was wonderful. We had like 30-something people. We had Tom Duffy came out of his attic. He was here, and Amanda Ward was also here. So we had a good time. Lots of food. Well, I'm working on right now 3 different things. I'm working on White Room, which is the second book in a trilogy Tom Duffy and I are working on. I'm also working on a post-apocalyptic romance with another author. She writes the romance parts usually, and I write the post-apoc parts, kind of. And then I'm also working on King of the Mountain, which is a Southern Gothic noir thriller. And I've written about 22,000 words on it, but I want to start from the beginning again and just kind of do an edit, which I don't normally do, but I want to kind of punch it up. And I haven't played with this since like April. And this one will eventually go, I'm going to try to find an agent with. So I'm just trying to make this as good as possible. So each day, starting today, I'm going to just rewrite or go through one chapter at a time. Miss Frank says, wonderful, good time. Lots of food. Yeah, it's got to be lots of food, right? What kind of apocalypse is it? Post-apocalypse. It's basically I don't think we give it an exact of what happened. We didn't want to do that. She's a romance author. And she's like, I always wanted to do a post-apocalyptic one. That seems to be a big one in romance right now. And it's not really about what happened or were we attacked. Is it aliens? Is it zombie? Whatever. She's just like, let's just do it where the basically the structure has collapsed. There's no more electricity. There's no more internet. There's no more anything. Gas is precious, and food is precious, and then everybody is uh, pretty much normal, and they all want to kill each other unless you're in your little town kind of thing. As opposed to Kellogg's apocalypse. Right, yeah, yeah. So like 6 months from now, you think it's going to take that long? All right, I mean, you can be positive about it. Yeah, so that's that. So it's not really about the apocalypse part. It's more of the romance. So she's writing the female character. I write the male character. We're doing first person narrative for each. Yeah, that is that is optimistic. I'm hoping the world survives until at least MondoCon next year. That's the that would be the thing. But I'm trying to get to this. If I can hit this next page on this, then I'm going to jump into that one. But otherwise, just just doing it. Full of stovetop right now. That reminds me of Marjorie Liu. Sure, it's romance novels. I was like, I don't know that name, but that's probably why. Does the male have a big dog? I'm writing it, so no. I want it to be as realistic as possible. But then she also has a comic called Monstrous. Very cool. Man, I haven't read a comic book in forever now. I stopped collecting. I just stopped collecting. I see Tom is on, sneaking in onto. You see that little red dot on the top on the right? That's Tom sneaking in, watching me write. I think it's cool when people write outside there. It's it's like I always wanted to do it. It's still within her genre because it's still the romance stuff. So. What is the White Room about? It's a second book. So we did our third trilogy that Tom and I did together. Tom was like, I want to do it's your pick, Tom, and he was like, I want to do a private investigator. Like, all right. So all three titles, which was starting in January, February, March, those three books will be out, and there's Fade to Black. Black something or other. All three titles have black in it. I can't remember the names now. And then no one knows what it's about. Yeah, that is true. Tom Duffy, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Duffy. And then I was like, you know what? I really like this one character. The character we kind of created is just some minor character, and we really liked it. We really liked her, so we're like, you know what? I'm like, you know what? My turn. Let's keep this going. But then all three titles will be white. So it was White Lies was the first one. This is the second one, White Room. And the third one is White Trash. Now, if we do another one after this, it'll be like Red something or other, Red Dawn. Eating stovetop on Thanksgiving is like trick-or-treating on a Saturday when Halloween is on Thursday. I did not have stovetop yesterday. I had stovetop today, thank you. The person who was supposed to make dressing on Thanksgiving, she did not make it. So we did not even have it. Not that I enjoy her dressing anyway, but you should still have it in the house. So we did not have that. And so, but I had like 5 boxes of stovetop, and we were already planning on, she made it on Thanksgiving. I was not going to eat it because she makes it like swampy. Undercooked, and I was like, you know what though, we're gonna have leftover turkey. I'm gonna have stovetop because I love stovetop. Although as we are doing this right now, my wife is in the living room right now looking up dressing recipes because she wants to make it because she's never made it before. And this is like the third year in a row this person has like, oh, I'm going to make dressing, and then she did not make it. So it's basically like next year, Shelly's like, I'll make it, but she wants to make sure she's perfected it. So I'm the guinea pig. She'll make it, and she's like, if I make it tomorrow, would you eat it? I'm like, I'll eat freaking stuffing dressing every day of my life. Red Sonja, yes, the next Red Sonja. Tom just made that name up. Did you know a Red Sonja movie came out this year? I saw when they were filming. It's like some weird foreign thing that everybody says made no sense. But no, I did not. Did you see it, Mr. Peter? Did you watch this Red Sonja movie? And if not, why not? You need to watch it and tell me if it was good or not. Wet it and make it hot. Yeah, you did not. Is it even like available, this Red Sonja movie? I was not a fan, obviously, of the Brigitte Nielsen Red Sonja. I wasn't even as a kid, like the first Conan with Arnold, I was like, eh. Because I'm still a huge Conan book and comic book fan. So it was just kind of cheesy. All of the Conans, I watched them while they were all kind of cheesy. I actually liked the, when they did, what was his name? Was it Jason Momoa that did Conan? I actually liked that movie. I didn't think it was bad. I also loved when they did the John Carter Warlord of Mars. I thought that was a good movie too. I'm watching a shit ton of movies and shows these days. Just watched Weapons last night. Yeah, Jason Momoa. I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch any horror shows. Yeah, I like that John Carter movie too. I wish they hadn't. I mean, it did well at the box office. They tried to make it like it was this big flop. It was not. But they really screwed that up. There's a documentary about it that I watched that was very interesting. About basically how they just totally screwed that up so there would never be another one. I would have loved for that to have been several movies. I don't know what it is. I watched it a couple of years ago. You have to, if you look up John Carter, I'm going to look it up right now. John Carter documentary. And it basically tells you, like, the title was wrong and everything was wrong. John Carter dog thing. I don't know what that is. John Carter documentary. I don't want to watch the Carters. I don't want to stream Nick Carter's documentary. I don't know. I know there's a movie, a documentary. No, I don't see it. What is the Jimmy Carter documentary on Netflix? I don't. Frank says, I made such a mess when I saw Debbie Gibson in the Thanksgiving parade yesterday. I don't even remember that they have a parade. Jason Momoa isn't getting anywhere near his Oscar-winning performance in Aquaman. Aquaman. Never saw it. Jimmy Carter. John Carpenter is better. What's John Carpenter's favorite restaurant? Yeah, that's so. Yeah. Anyway, there's a documentary. You can look it up. Elena, yeah. Chi-Chi's is coming back. Chi-Chi's, they have restaurants again. So the world can't completely be wrong and ending if you're bringing Chi-Chi's back. Or I think actually in Revelations, I think one of the parts is that if Chi-Chi's comes back, the four horsemen of the apocalypse will ride. So, I don't know. Deidre Thoris, yep. They have, oh god, yeah. The comic books are awesome. The Deidre Thoris comic books are really good. They need to bring Ponderosa's salad bar back. There is one in Orlando. There's a Ponderosa in Orlando, but I don't believe it's a buffet style. It's just another crappy restaurant. They'll be back out of business in a year, probably. You can't pretend Taco Bell is worth being a sit-down restaurant. A Taco Bell should just be drive-through only. You know how much money they would save? Oh man, the Ponderosa, that is from when I was in elementary school. Yeah. There's one in New Jersey. There's a lot of them in New Jersey. There was one in Middletown, New Jersey. We would go to all the time. Me and Russ Meyer, not the director. And George Martin, we would go. We'd go to Ponderosa, and you just eat the buffet. It was amazing. The only reason to go to Ponderosa was the buffet. Nobody ordered. Yeah, every time we'd go, sometimes there would be people ordering off the menu, and I'd be like, "What are you old people doing? You just eat off the buffet." Yeah, Middletown. That's the one. Yep, on the way to Keensburg. Middletown. That is the one. That's the one. Well, I lived in Belford. I grew up in Belford in Middletown Township. So that's the one we would go to. Maybe we were in the same time, you and me, Peter Marsh. We were like, hey, that's my biscuit. Frank's never been to a Ponderosa. Man, your life is so bad. I mean, just you had awful parenting, obviously. If your parents never took you to Ponderosa, what were they even doing? What values were your parents trying to instill in you if they did not take you to a Ponderosa? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Anything is possible. Arm was like, this has a beef steak and all the scripts, exactly. Old Country Buffet, very good. Other places from Jersey that are definitely not in Texas and probably don't exist anymore. Perkins. We had a Perkins couple here in Florida that closed. Roy Rogers still up north. Anytime we go up north, every time we hit the Virginia line, then I immediately go, okay, let's look and see where the closest Roy Rogers are. Friendly's another great one still up north when we were in Mystic, Connecticut years ago. And also the last time we went to Brian Keene's house on the way, or when I did the Vortex Books signing on the way towards Philly, there was a Friendly's we stopped because you got to get the ice cream. Wawa, there's about 10,000 Wawas within 20 miles of where you're currently sitting. I do wish Roy Rogers was down here, though. No other state has the cheesecake restaurant. Cheesequake, yeah. You're the first person in history to use Friendly's and great in the same sentence. No. Friendly's food is mid. Sus, even. But their freaking Reese's Pieces sundae, not the peanut, but the small one, the big one. And I do forbidden chocolate. 3 layers of forbidden chocolate in that thing. With all the peanut butter and the marshmallow and the hot fudge and all that. I'd love that. There's one in Orlando. We also have a White Castle in Orlando. But White Castle is coming to Daytona Beach next summer. My daughter's already excited. Oh, we're going to go for lunch. I'm like, yeah, we got 8 months. So relax. Friendly's is just TV dinner served on a ceramic plate, pretty much. Again, when growing up in Middletown, we had the Friendly's there. And we would go to the Friendly's, and then we would walk over to the movie theater. We would go see the latest Star Wars movie or Batman or whatever. It's worth it. People who order non-desserts at Friendly's are serial killers. Yeah. I don't know why you would go there for we're just going to go there for their patty melt. It's just out of this world. She went down here after Ground Round closed. Yeah, we did love Ground Round. Ground Round was great. And then there was that place in Keyport on 36 that became the diner. But it was a seafood place. I can't think of the name of it, but we might have even talked about this at one other time. But they would have those cheddar biscuits, and you literally would go up and get them out of the oven yourself. This is back in the 80s when you weren't going to sue places. I would get the chicken parmesan, but I would get the dessert too. Peter Marsh went to that theater in Middletown. We were probably in the same theater. You were probably the jerk talking in front of me. Yesterday's, where there's Steak and Steins in New Jersey. Steak and Steins? No, there was Steak and Ale. There was Steak and Shake. By the Price Club. So all three of the Star Wars prequels there. Steak and Shake. No, he don't talk during movies. What, you crazy? You're probably the guy in front of me that wasn't talking during the movies. I can't repeat what you just said there, Mr. Marsh, because I'm trying to stay on the right side of YouTube. Steak and Ale. Yeah, Steak and Ale in Middletown. I think I went maybe once or twice in high school for some, like, I don't know, prom thing, I don't know, something. And I'm like, this is expensive and not really that good. Yeah, someone is definitely a potty mouth. Well, somebody's uninvited to MondoCon now. Because that foul mouth does not play well. Especially around Chuck Buddha. I got you. That's probably why we have like 30 views on our YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're dual... No, I'm not dual streaming. I'm just on Twitch today. But eventually, once this is over, then I will drop it like I always do. I'll drop it onto YouTube. I think I'm up to 800 and something, 800 and... How many? I'm only going to do the dual thing on days that I'm not normally here on Twitch. That'll be the goal. 831 subscribers. Getting there. I know some of your YouTube videos have been getting some traction. Yeah, like how I write 400,000 words in a year. That one blew up, which is great. I did a review one. Well, why I don't read my own reviews. That one did pretty good. My review of the Jordan Harper book did pretty good. And then every Sunday I'm going to do a new one like that. This Sunday I'm going to do one about reviewing other authors' books. Frank gave me that idea. Nice. That is close to how many subscribers the last cast has, and we have been doing this for 5 years. Well, I've been on YouTube. Put my first video up like probably about 5 years ago, but really, seriously, November like 7th, I had 355 subscribers. And so I've gotten like 500 subscribers in like 3 weeks. Literally in 3 weeks. Terrible idea. I know, but I'm going to make sure I say, hey, Frank came up with this one. If I don't get 2,500 views on this, you know who to blame. Here's his street address. But yeah, I'm going to... the problem is I only have like 800 and something hours. So I still need like 3,200 hours. I still need like 5 times the amount of hours. So, but I figure by the time I hit that, as more people join and more people watch, it will grow exponentially. And then also people hopefully will continue to watch my videos. And then I might have like 2,500 subscribers or whatever when I monetize. You're about to add another hour today. Yeah. I have like over 1,000, well over 1,000 videos on there, so basically I just need people to just start watching. Even if you're just watching them mute them and watch them in the background. Not the shorts though. The shorts, I'm not getting 10 million shorts in 30 days. That is never going to happen. So just the long form videos. Have you given consideration to writing a book on writing? No. No, I don't. I don't think that would be. No. Yeah, the Mondo. Yeah, I did one on the Mondo method. I did. That was the second video. That one also did very well. A view from my seat. My fiscal year writing 400,000 words, and so can you. It would have to have a title like that, and so can you. And be on the cover like this. Yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now. Ziti and zombies, delicious. I'm gonna slow down with the releases for my writing. So here's the thing. If me and Tom can keep writing these books, we'll knock off this book and then the last book, third book in the trilogy, because 3 books makes it a trilogy. And then I don't know if we're going to write anything together for a while. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I hate Tom or anything. It's the fact that this self-publishing thing is not all that it's cracked up to be. And I have such a big, huge backlist that I need something going forward. I need something in the future to hit and then to sell my backlist. And I think I'm going to do that by writing books to find an agent. And so that'll be it. So I won't be putting out a ton of books every year, starting in 2026, starting halfway through 2026. But then I want to write books for agents and for publishers. And I'm going to write a ton of short stories too, because I enjoy writing those. So little change of pace there. But I don't think the self-publishing thing for me is really, long-term, is really going to work anymore. Everything's changed so much. There's Nick Zinn, speaking of changing too much. Tom says, I can self-publish and make no money, or query 187 agents and also make no money. Right. So, I mean, it's just 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Peter and Frank on at the same time. It is Positive Friday. Right, Nick? It is Positive Friday. Although, we did realize, you came in a little late, Peter Marsh has a potty mouth. So we're not sure if he's going to be here at MondoCon next year. Because he's saying really bad words. Love that guy, Mr. Frank. Love that guy. Nick ate too much. Yeah, did you have a lot of cheese yesterday, Frank? Nick? Did you guys make a cheese-erky? A giant turkey-shaped piece of cheddar? Like poopy and stupid? No. Not that bad. Whoa. Nick, maybe you don't want to come to MondoCon next year with those words. Cheddar duckin'. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Next is we have the traditional mountain of cheese and crackers shaped like the state with dipping sauces of the 2 Great Lakes that surround us. That sounds amazing. My mom made a giant loaf of bread shaped like a turkey. Interesting. Fondue pots are the Wisconsin turkey deep fryers. I pile up mozzarella sticks like it's a... What kind of bread? Yeah, Nick wants to know what kind of bread. What kind of turkey bread? Peter says, I don't even know, but it was too thick. Frank says, in Wisconsin, there's only bleached flour white bread. I put all this, bad word, on it to add some flavor like turkey, cranberry sauce, some mushrooms. Yeah, you just stuff it with some turkey. All right, I got to the next page. Cranberry sauce was not on our Thanksgiving table, and I was funeral with that. You were funeral with. Oh, you were fine with that. Yeah, I think we had cranberry sauce here. I don't know. I don't know anybody who really eats it. I know I don't. Next page, Nixon. Next page. All right, talk amongst yourselves because you know what time it is. Time to go to the bathroom. You gotta poop right in the middle of my Twitch. Nick asks, oh, look, you guys are talking. Tom, what's happening with your National Socialist Party bell book? I didn't even have mushroom coffee today. That would not have been good. That's finished, but I got a bit into the second book and it's not really going anywhere. Shrewd. Could it be a one-off then? Peter Mark's very confused. What is a bell book? It has to do with the secret 1940s German experiment. For reals? You should have said for reals. Die Glock was a purported top-secret scientific technological device, wonder weapon, or Wunderwolf. Developed in the 1940s in Nazi Germany. Rumors of this device have persisted for decades after World War II and were used as a plot trope in the fiction novel Lightning by Dean Koontz. Yeah, bastard took your idea 30 years ago. Peter Marsh uses more profanity. Then says, I love Lightning by Dean Koontz. That's probably my favorite book by him. Miss Frank says, a bell book is a book that rings a bell when you hear someone say the title out loud. Exactly. Frank knows. I already got the idea for Phantoms from Socks. You need to lawyer up. Yeah, it's profanity. It's a bad word, Peter. Come on. Strangers is the best Koontz book. That is not debatable. Peter never read it. Strangers is a good one. My favorite is Phantoms, only because it was one of the first ones that I read that I was freaked out. I was like 12 or 13 when that came out. Mr. Frank agrees. I'm a big fan of. I read everything that comes out, and I've always read all of his books since 45 years. I haven't read his science fiction ones that he put out in 1969, year I was born. They're not great. Stranger is superior. He wrote the book with the dog that was genetically engineered and that monster, right? Watchers, or 37 of his other books. Yes, he did write a book with a dog in it. 37 of them. How many books do you guys read in a week? I average about 1.5 books a week, maybe. Or more. I think I average like 80 books a year. You could have stopped at dog, and the answer is oh, yes. Yeah. The last 2 years worth of books, he's had one or two that has had the dog is the main focus. The dog's genetically enhanced or an alien or whatever. But most of them, some of them don't even have a dog in them at all. Not even as a pet, which is weird. I read about 8 to 10 at a time, but lucky if I get one done every 2 weeks. You just line up 8 to 10 books in front of you and you just read a page on each, and you're like, I don't understand this book, but at some point, I'll be done with 10 books. Nick is never serious. I am. Half are digital and the other are paper, but 2 to 3 are on writing, so those always go slow. Tom says, I'm rereading Cujo because I don't really remember it. You can definitely tell that was written during King's snowblind years. This year has been my worst year for reading in my entire life. This is what ADHD looks like in reading. I have started so many books and I have barely finished any. I always have a print book and a an ebook that I'm reading. And it depends on, like, if I'm like I'm not gonna watch TV at lunch. I'm not gonna take a nap. I'm gonna read. A lot of times it depends on. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna grab. I'm gonna lie down in bed. I'm gonna pull out a print book, turn the light on, my reading light. But if I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sit in the living room and read. Then I'm like, yeah, the lighting isn't always great in the afternoon. So then I'll bring my Amazon Fire out and I will read an ebook from there. But then once I finish, I'll review and I immediately move on to the next. So you're on the Nick form of reading. Does Cujo go nuts from cocaine at festivals? I thought you were reading, Tom. I thought you were reading like Wheel of Time or something like that. 400 giant book stop, doorstop books. You already done with that? I get through print books if I read them before I go to bed. If I listen to an audiobook when I'm driving, I eventually lose focus. Yeah, I can't do audiobooks. I have a fiction, nonfiction, and short story collection going at once usually. Frank says, I've read less books this year than previous years, but I'm reading a lot thicker stuff also. As thick as my mom's turkey bread. Stop with the profanity, please. I can never listen to fiction while driving either, because your imaginary girlfriend is also talking in your head. Turns out Cujo is actually book 517 in Wheel of Time. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, Wheel of Time. I figured saying JC's name was bad language too. Yeah, don't say that name. I was reading Wheel of Time, but I need a break after the first 5,000 pages. So you got through the first 3 chapters. JC Walsh doesn't mind if you use his name. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't mind at all. He doesn't. He doesn't get upset about that. 60 degrees. Just hit 60 degrees here. My wife is on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, like it's 10 below. Wheel of Time, I know so many people that love that series, but I got through the first book and a half and I would start to drift off. And I know there are whole books in the middle where nothing really happens. I read, I think, the first 2 books years and years ago, and then I was like, this really isn't for me. Then I remember everybody's like, oh yeah, that guy died. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not reading any more of this. Yeah, I don't read dead people's work. Yeah, that's blasphemy. It's like one of the foundational fantasy series. Most of the books are a lot of walking and camping. That was reading back when I was in high school, back in the 80s, and playing Dungeons and Dragons because I couldn't get laid. Reading all of the Dungeons and Dragons, the Forgotten Realms or the Dragonlance books and all of those. And I read all of them. And I loved all the Drow stuff. I loved a lot of those series. But there was a couple of them that I read. I'm like, oh yeah, so they had to kill a goblin and now they're sad about it. I'm like, this is dumb. He is the one that finished the Wheel of Time. Right now, the biggest name is a guy named Brand. Yeah, Sanderson just had that. What was it, $42 million Kickstarter? $42 million on books he hasn't even written yet. Yeah. Dragonlance and Drizzt, man. Yeah, Drizzt was great. I guess S.A. Salvatore is still putting those out. I think a new one just came out. I haven't read those in a long time. This is my turkey bread and butter. Yeah, but Miss Frank, those Discworld books are all maybe 200 pages each. Why? He can get published, so why go Kickstarter? For $42 million. That's why. Because he knew he could make a crap ton of money and give out different rewards and whatnot. $42 million on Kickstarter. I have a Kickstarter, by the way. It drops January 15th it goes live. But look it up. Look up my name on Kickstarter. And follow it so you don't miss when it goes live. I'm going to start a Kickstarter for socks too. Master of Socks. That does make sense. You know what I just realized I have? Have any of you guys read the first Law Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie? No, but I like girls who wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I have a box of, I'm going to say this, to Forgotten Realms books. And there might be about 150 of them. The paperbacks. I've read all of them. I probably need to sell those. You know what? I really do. I need to sell all of those. Because I think somebody who enjoys that, it's all the original paperbacks. Yeah, I got to get rid of them. As Frank says, Tom, yeah, but they are all actually 50 chapters, and which is what's really important. Yeah, you got to have 50 chapters in a book, or is it really even a book? That is the one series I was able to get through this year. Armand, I will sign up for your Kickstarter. I appreciate that. I just looked up your Kickstarter, and it's the French one. Okay, I will buy it. You will buy what? I wish more people would read the Castle Period series so I could carry conversations about it like a nerd. I don't really read fantasy anymore. Is that already so true? Yeah, it's got, you know what I'll do, Peter, this week? I will pull the box out. Perilous. Castle Perilous. Never heard of that. I had never even heard of it either. The Kickstarter page defaulted to French. Are you only publishing outside the country? No, it shouldn't default to French. That seems like something on your part. John DeChancy. I'll take a DeChancy on that. Sacre bleu. You know what I'll do, Peter? I'll pull out the box and I'll shoot a video of it and send it to you. And if you want them, then let me know. Because it's a lot. It's like 100 something of those books. All right. Sounds good. Should probably write that down somewhere so I don't forget. I'll write it on this post-it note. Forgotten Realms for Pistol Pete. All right. That is what I get. Armand merchandise videos. It's like OnlyFans with Pogs. Exactly. Here's some more non-sports cards for you, Peter. What do you want? Yeah, one of these days I got to go back to my mom's and pull more of that stuff, but I got to sell what I have. The problem is now we're getting into Christmas, where the post office is like, oh, from Black Friday to New Year's Day, we're going to lose half of your packages. I'm reading Timeline by Crichton now. D. Tracy and Garbage Pail Kids cards. Timeline is a great book. The movie, not so much. Yes, Richard Tracy. That's who he was talking about. The Red Sox made a trade. This will be relevant in a second. Just hold off. To the Cardinals. And they got Sonny Gray, the pitcher. And they traded Richard Fitts. Fitts. And on all of the Red Sox forums that I follow, and all the newsletters and everything, everybody was very excited to say Dick Fitts in St. Louis. And I'm like, he goes by Richard. Babe Ruth to the Yankees. Yep. I think they announced that trade not too long ago. I don't even know if Cashman would even make that trade now. Yeah, I know. That's why I keep telling you to watch your mouth. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying the guy's name. Yeah, once I go what do you call it? So the other day, Frank mentioned a song. And I was like, I don't know if I know that song. So I pull the song up on my phone and I play like 20 seconds of the song. Like I never heard of this song. It was on Twitch, and then I put it up onto YouTube. And I immediately, like within like 10 minutes, I get a thing about copyright infringement. And at least they detail. They're like, you know, at 37:11 to 37 minutes and 26, there's a copyright infringement. I realized, oh, that's when I played the song on my phone that YouTube heard, and their AI bots found it. So they're like, you get rid of the whole video, you can go in and manually get rid of it, or we can get rid of it. I'm like, you get rid of it. Then I didn't have a problem with it anymore. So a lot of things I have to watch now. It's a good trade suit. For sure would never have made it. For sure he would never have made it. Yeah. Replace all your curse words with the curse word from Johnny Dangerously. Yeah. Kiss and Dynamite. At least they told you exactly what the problem was and where. Yeah. Ooh. So hopefully I won't have that problem anymore. Hopefully. That is the hope. The Hope Diamond. All right, I think I'm gonna finish this chapter, Tom. But not right this second. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna probably help clean up a little bit. Almost next page, Mr. Frank. So damn close. So close. Good luck. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for hanging out with us today. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you can find time at work over the next 3 months to also hang out with us. It was good. I will shoot that. I will find that box and shoot the video. I think I know where it is. And then, oh snap! The text window is back. Text window's always been back. Text windows never went anywhere. It moved, but then once somebody said I moved it, it's been back for a couple weeks. Well, you can't see the text window because I'm just on Twitch now. I always want to be on here. It is good talking to you. It's good talking to you. And again, seriously, if you ever need anybody to talk to, anybody to vent, anything else, then I think you got my number, and give me a call. For the rest of yous, do not call me. I don't care about your damn problems. Frank's still in a turkey coma. I do. You got it. All right. Oh, Nick, you can vent. Yeah, I know you can vent. You need to take some of that extra energy and go blow up half of Milwaukee looking for the treasure. Let me tell you about these Jaguars. God, I hope they lose this week. Oh, stop winning just enough that these idiot fans. I can't go. Great sweet potato shirt, by the way. Thank you. It says, "She's my sweet potato." What does your shirt say?
Yes, I am. Y-A-M.
And hers said, "Yes, I yam." A little play on words there. We had matching shirts yesterday. I'm still wearing mine because I'm just like, I rolled out of bed at 10 o'clock this morning. I'll probably take a shower later. Who can say?
I'm eating pecan pie dip.
Pecan pie dip. She's eating pecan pie dip. I only do that because I love when you pull your bears aside and try to read your shirt. My bears? My hairs. Yeah, because you gotta look. I can't friggin' even see what shirt I'm wearing sometimes. Beard. Yeah, you know, not bears. Bears. Let's drink some bears. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe or resubscribe here on Twitch, and make sure you also subscribe on YouTube. And do me a favor. It was my birthday not too long ago, so watch 3 hours of my videos at least this weekend. Bands and Fords. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.